internal anxiety spiral.
Ew, who's tooting?
I'm gonna go work. Thank you, V.E. Schwab, for everything you do. Hi, hello, happy Tuesday. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sammy, Sam Marie, Samantha Marie a lot if you will, and I am going to be filming my first reading vlog, my first official reading vlog. This is going to be a realistic reading vlog, realistic week in the life reading vlog. To give some context, I am a PA, physician assistant, physician associate. I do home health, I work full time doing that. Hours are pretty flexible because sometimes there's cancellation, sometimes I get home earlier than other days. And then my husband and I also own a small business. We own a small smoothie business called The Bowls where we make smoothie bowls, smoothies, juices. My weeks are pretty full. I've worked my PA job. I'm working this week. I should have started this on Sunday because my week started on Sunday. I worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I work again Wednesday. And then we have pop-ups Thursday, Saturday, Sunday this week, and Friday is going to be a big prep day. So pretty much working every day this week, but doing a lot of stuff that I love, so that's okay. So it is busy and this is a busy season. I'm not reading as much as I normally read. Perhaps your lives are busy as well and you don't get to read all day every day. Yeah, so this is going to be what I read in the week as a gal who's busy and would rather just be home all day reading, right? All of us. Right now I'm currently reading Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab is my favorite book ever. Of course, when this came out, this was my most anticipated release for new releases this year in 2025. I am 330 pages in. Between Sunday and Monday, I read about 130 pages. Ish, give or take, because I didn't mark down where I was at. Sometimes when I'm working, I intentionally wake up early so that way I can do my reading at the beginning of the day. I feel like that helps free up my mind. It helps let me know that no matter what I did do today, I got to dedicate a certain amount of time to my day to something that I enjoy and like doing. So sometimes it's nice to start your day with reading rather than end it, just because some days I'm just so tired, like I get in bed, I'm not reading, I'm just going right to sleep. If you've managed to not see anything about this book so far, this is, I guess this would be like fantasy, romance. V. Schwab, definitely you're doing character studies and following her characters through their life. Right now we're following a few different point of views, the point of views of 3 different girls. One of the girls we didn't see their point of view for quite a while and then it finally just came back up, so it's really starting to pick up. A lot of vampire tales, a lot of vampire stories. Some of the plots and the stories are starting to intertwine and we're kind of seeing like where we're going with this whole book, what the idea and what the plot is. I just finished watching season 3 of Bridgerton and we're starting to get into one of the characters' stories was like in London high society and like so they're doing the whole like we're in season and blah blah blah, so it's getting really fun to follow that too. I would love to finish this between today and tomorrow. If there's any possibility that I can get this done, I would love to, because I have some other books on our radar. Now this could change because certainly I go along the lines of like being a mood reader, reading what I'm in the mood for. Something else might catch my eye, but right now this is kind of the stack of options after I finish Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Of course, we have Wild Card here by Elsie Silver, her new release, her last and final book in the Rose Hill series. I know it's her ex-boyfriend's dad trope is what this is. It's set in a small town. We already know all the other couples, so there's going to be a lot of like found family vibes in here, I'm sure. But I'm very excited for this. I will read anything that this woman, Elsie Silver, ever decides to put on paper, so I'm very excited about that. We have By a Thread by Lucy Score and People Watching by Hannah Bonam-Young. This is something that I got on our New York trip. If you've seen in our last videos, I got this from the Ripped Bodice, the romance-only bookstore, and this is just something that's nostalgic to my reading journey. Looking at this cover just locks into this brain a little bit, so I do want to read this soon. I know it's like Grumpy Sunshine, don't know much else about it. And then People Watching by Hannah Bonam-Young. I got this when I got Wild Card because I saw the cover and then I remembered that this was a new release. I've only ever read one Hannah Bonam-Young book and I really enjoyed it. That was Out on a Limb. This cover is insane. Are you kidding me? Fall is starting to settle in, the leaves are changing, it's starting to look like the cover of this book outside, so I would love to read this soon too, but all of those will kind of be fast reads, so I want to have a couple of options ready to go. I'm actually not going to start reading anything right now because I'm gonna bring my books and everything back down here, and then we might go play pickleball. When we get back from that and have dinner, that is probably what I'll be reading again. I haven't read any of my book today. This is our lovely stack for right now. I don't know if I'm actually even gonna get to read today, but just know I've read about 130 pages between Sunday and Monday. That's all I got for you right now. Hi, good morning. Happy Wednesday. We did not read anything on Tuesday. We didn't have time for that. No reading was accomplished. Started, finished, done. On Tuesday, we read 0 pages. Zilch. None. Today is Wednesday. I know I have a rather busy day after my work day. I have people on my schedule from 8 to 3 today. And then when I get back home, I do know we want to go play pickleball again. I need to prep for our pop-up tomorrow, which is going to take a few hours. I'd like to do a little bit more work. Hey, guys. The girls are fighting. You know, not everybody in here is a morning person. And by the time all that is said and done, it'll probably be 10 o'clock. I'll probably be tired. So I will not be reading later. So we woke up a little bit early so I could at least get about an hour of reading in this morning. So I'm going to make a matcha, make a makeshift breakfast. We don't have too much going on here for breakfast. I have a bag of Little Bites. And we have food left over from dinner last night. So I'm just going to microwave that and eat that. So yeah, we're going to have a bizarre breakfast, a delicious matcha, and bury our bones in the midnight soil. Read about 30 pages this morning, but I do have to leave and do my job, so I'm gonna go do that. But this is definitely picking up and getting very good. Timelines, stories, characters are beginning to like intertwine. I'm definitely, I don't know, like conflicted on some things because some things feel a bit like a love story, but at the same time they feel definitely like some dark undertones, and I don't know that I'm happy with one of the characters' behaviors and like what she's doing. But because there's really only one person in this, I guess spoilers, but there's only one person in this who really wanted this life of being a vampire, and now she's affecting everybody else's lives and kind of not giving the full story to them, but enticing them to change without like the full understanding of what they're getting into. I'm gonna go work. The time is now 10:26. I started my work day. I saw a few people. However, the middle of my day, there's been a few cancellations. So that's left a gaping hole in the middle of the day. So it looks like I'll probably be doing nothing until 1 and 2 o'clock for the last 2 of the day. So that has given me the time to do a little bit more reading. Now, should I use this as a time to get some laundry done? Yes. Should I use this as a time to go ahead and prep for a little bowls pop-up we have tomorrow? Sure. However, these were things that I was already gonna do after work. So right now, I've been gifted this extra time in my day. So I think I should spend it reading. I think I could definitely get those another 40 pages read. I'm gonna make a little like fun drink. It's just gonna be electrolytes that are delicious. They're the Rise ones, blue raspberry. Get comfy on the couch with my boy Q. Q, come say hi. This is Q Dog. That's the plan. The sun has finally risen. The lighting is much better now than last time I was on here, and we're gonna get back into this book. updates. I've read about 40 more pages of this book. It's going pretty good. If I haven't really said what this is about, this is a book following 3 different main characters, and each of those characters has a specific niche to them, something that really drives them and is a part of their core. But we also follow them through their journey as vampires, but with those specific things that drive their core, they tend to be exaggerated and really prominent when they do become a vampire. So even on, this isn't really a spoiler because it says it if you're reading the back of the book or like the summary, but somebody is driven by hunger, somebody's really driven by love, and somebody's really driven by rage. One of them really follows their hunger, one of them really follows their heart, one of them is wrapped up and consumed by their brain. And V.E. Schwab really has a way with her words. Her writing style is so romantic, and it really blurs the line between hero, villain, and victim. She really gets things into the gray, you know, things are never black and white in her books, and sometimes you're rooting for someone and then sometimes you're like, how was I rooting for this person? And it definitely provides like good commentary on women and their experience through all different centuries and how misogyny has persisted on. And oh my goodness, there's a wasp. He respectfully went on his way when I opened the door. He recognized that this wasn't his home. His home was outside and this was my home. And I recognize when I'm out there that that's his home, not my home. And we just had a really respectful crossing the lines. This is where I exist. This is where you exist. And so it was all very kind and respectful, and nobody was hurt in that whole process. That wasp is gone. He no longer lives here. Back to what I was saying. It definitely takes you through the experiences of being a woman in different centuries. Arranged marriages, forced into marriage, and the experiences and dangers that women face even in today's century. I might read a little bit more. We're having a good time. We are on page 432, and I think there's about like 530-ish, 540-ish. Oh, 532. So we have exactly 100 pages left. Thursday, September 18th to be specific. We had a La Bowls pop-up, our smoothie bowl, small business. We had a little pop-up event at the gym here. We weren't busy until we were busy. And then we were really busy and we ended up staying open late. What you saw in those clips is basically all that was read, which was like 6 pages. I might get a little bit more reading done tonight because my husband and dad are gonna watch some football. I'm not gonna watch some football, but I am gonna sit on the couch, eat some pizza, and coexist. The only update I really have is that I am heartbroken for some characters. I'm very sad for what some of these characters have gone through, railing a bit for them. Haven't shed actual tears. My heart aches for some of them. That's about it. Again, it's Thursday and I've only read about 6 pages. If that's all I read today, that's okay. We'll do a little bit more tomorrow. Hopefully finish it tomorrow. Hello, good morning. How are you? Am I still in the clothes I was in the last clip you would have seen? Yes. Are these my PJs? Yes. Am I gonna be in my PJs for the first at least half of this morning? Yes. Sue me. Today is technically my day off. Today is Friday. I will have to do a lot of prep work because we have a smoothie bowl pop-up tomorrow and Sunday that are going to be decent events. So I'll be doing a lot of prep work, but for the morning, I'm going to start by making breakfast, making some smoothie bowls with protein, and then I'm going to spend the morning finishing this book. Last night, I ate all but 2 slices of the pizza and then went to sleep immediately after. I was no one to the world anymore. Asleep on my pillow, comfy in bed. So no reading was really done. But this morning, we're dedicating it to finishing this book. That's the plan. Happy Friday. I did just finish Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I finished this book, or did this book finish me? No, this book did not finish me, but I did finish the book. Her writing is incredible. She just knows how to captivate you with beautiful words, beautiful metaphors. I would recommend this book 100%. Wow, it is just so interesting what she can do with a story, how she can bring you back and forth. And she talks about at the end in her acknowledgments about being like an unreliable narrator, right? And in this book, you're getting 3 different point of views, and it's almost as if when you're in each of their point of views, you are getting some unreliable narration. When you are in their point of view, you're on their side of the story, so you're almost rooting for them, but then you go to somebody else's story and you just see how that other person is a villain to their story and how they are just a pawn in the grand scheme of that person's story. And I will tell you, every time I pick up a V.E. Schwab book, I never know where we're going with the story. I never know where we're going to end up. The ending, did not expect it, didn't see it coming from a mile away. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, that ending shot to my heart. I've got Jack, my cat, was cuddling with me, and she likes to like boop her head on my face, and now I got Jack hair. One thing about B.E. Schwab is she knows how to write an internal anxiety spiral. Now this is gonna be, I guess, kind of spoilery because I'm gonna read you the spiral, but she goes, Alice tries to inhale, but the air isn't going in this time. Her lungs won't inflate because they're dead. She's dead, and she just wants to go back to the weekend and the party and the wall, wants to unravel her life moment by moment and stitch it together differently, but she can't, and it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. And Alice thinks that maybe she can't breathe in because she's screaming, and then Ezra's there again, bringing a cup to her lips, and his mouth is saying, drink this, and it smells different, tainted, wrong, but Alice doesn't care, not anymore. She is so tired and so angry, and somehow, even though the fog of panic, the hunger is still there, the only sharp thing in the blurring room. So Alice drinks and knows the moment the blood hits her tongue that she was right and it is wrong, but she doesn't care if it will make the pain stop. Are you kidding me? Now, another spiral from favorite book of all time. I have this like little cutie special edition of Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I have this page marked because it's just insanity. This is the spiral that she writes in Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and like the way it's written, like she uses the visual of the page as well as the words in the parentheses. And so she says, take a drink every time you hear a lie. You're a great cook, they say as you burnt the toast. You're so funny. You've never told a joke. You're so handsome, ambitious, successful, strong. Are you drinking yet? You're so charming, clever, sexy. Drink. So confident, so shy, so mysterious, so open. You are impossible, a paradox, a collection at odds. You are everything to everyone. The son they never had, a friend they always wanted, a generous stranger, a successful son, a perfect gentleman, a perfect partner, a perfect drink. They love your body, your abs, your laugh, the way you smell, the sound of your voice. They want you, not you. They need you, not you. They love you, not you. You are whoever they want you to be. You are more than enough because you are not real. You are perfect because you don't exist, not you, never you. They look at you and see whatever they want because they don't see you at all. Are you kidding me? That is insane work. Impeccable. That's my favorite thing about her. Her writing, you're just pulled in that way, and the way she can write that spiral is crazy. So I did finish the book. I'm probably gonna rate it a 4.5 stars out of 5. It was excellent. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it to anyone. Although at the same time, her books are not gonna be for everyone, and that's okay. They are long. They are character driven. Wow, it's really just so crazy now that I'm thinking about like where did we start with this book and then where did we get to at the end? I think what gives a book sometimes that 5-star feeling is relating so deeply to a character, and I just don't know if I found that in this, or I don't know, nothing like really touched my soul or touched my brain, or well, I mean that little spiral did, but it just didn't give me that 5-star feeling. And at the end of the day, a 5-star feeling is a feeling, but 4.5 stars, excellent. I cannot wait to read another V.E. Schwab book. Thank you, V.E. Schwab, for everything you do. Hello, happy Happy Sunday. I have not been reading much the last 2 days. We had a LaBoles pop-up Thursday. We then had Saturday and Sunday, which is today. 2 nights ago, I did start this and I got 2 chapters in and then I fell asleep. This is gonna be the next book, is Wildcard by Elsie Silver. I might just continue this on until I finish this book, and then maybe it'll be a realistic reading 1.5 week in the life. I don't know, just making up the rules as we go, honestly. But so I'm gonna read this today. We'll see how much I get into it. The boys are watching football. I'm gonna sit there, coexist, and read this book at the same time, and that is the plan for the rest of the day. We are staying in our sweats. We're not leaving the house. This will be it, just me and this book, and perhaps some distractions every now and then. Hello. It's been actually a couple weeks since I originally filmed this video. Come on. All of the animals are pretty worked up for some reason. I don't know why they're so excited. Anyways, I finished this book quite some time ago. The reading vlog took place over about a week and a day, a week and 2 days, and that's how long it took me to get through the first book and then this book. We've got some cutie little tabs, and yeah, this was a fun read. I mean, I've said it once, I'll say it 100 times. I will read anything that Elsie Silver decides to put on paper and sell to me. I don't care what the trope is, I don't care about it. I love her writing style. These are the perfect palette cleansers for me. This was a small town romance, grumpy sunshine situation, age gap. I think cats and dogs are opening doors. Oh, hi, gorgeous. Jack is coming in here, but you're not gonna be able to see her because she's just a little girl. We're following Bash and Gwen. We've known about Bash for a while through all of the books in this series, and then we just met Gwen towards the end of the last book, and she's a yoga instructor, and she is the previous book, Wild Side. The male main character in that book, she is his yoga instructor, yoga teacher. But so we get formally introduced to her in this book, and we get the romance between those two. It was a lot of fun. It was a little cringy at first. There were some cringy times, which I'll probably end up giving this about a 3.75 out of 5 stars because of that. Something I wasn't expecting is Crazy Clyde, which you would have known from previous books, plays a major role in this book, and I loved his character. I loved his backstory. I loved learning about him, and he was such a fun little addition to this book. Hey boys, calm down. Honestly, something I could have done without in this book was, I know the whole point of this was to all be like single dad tropes. I could have done without this guy's son. But I didn't need that part of the story, but I mean, I guess there was no conflict if you didn't have that. Let me give you some wise words from the men written by Elsie Silver.
Ew, who's tooting?
Please. You know what, we're just gonna end this. There were some good quotes in this. I have a whole TikTok about it if you want to see them, because I'm not gonna look for it right now. In the end, this book was 441 pages. However, the pages are rather small and font is pretty big. Oh my gosh, now there's a dog hair in my eye. 441 pages plus whatever 532 pages of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil brings you to. That's where we ended up, and we ended up with a 4.5 stars and a 3.75 stars. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching if you've made it to this point. And I would recommend both of the books that I read in this. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know what your favorite in the Rose Hill series is so far. My personal favorite is the second one, Wild Eyes. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Let me show you guys Jack. This is my best girlfriend. Happy reading and thanks for watching.